back again to go over a little
NFL.
football.
We are at the halfway point.
We are at week 8. We're going to do a little week 8 recap and then do a little predictions for week 9. We'll jump right in and start off with the Thursday night game that we had last week. We had the Dolphins at the Texans
On Thursday night.
Thursday night. Yeah, we picked the Texans to do. Texans are on a roll right now. How many games have they won in a row now?
5.
They've won 5 games in a row.
They started off 0-3,
Yeah.
and now they've turned around their season big time.
Yeah, we picked them to win the division, and it looks like they're pretty much on their way to winning the division. Plus, they also picked up
At the trade deadline,
today.
Demarius Thomas from the Broncos.
Yeah, they got that. So now they got DeAndre Hopkins
And
on one
Demarius
side and
Thomas.
Demarius Thomas on the other.
That is
That's going to be a scary team.
experience.
You got a really Super Bowl winning wide receiver on one side, and then DeAndre
Yes.
Hopkins, which can catch the ball between his legs and juggle it before he gets to the ground.
Yes, it's ridiculous. He makes some ridiculous
He
catches.
makes some ridiculous catches. So
And may we mention they have on the defensive side of the ball J.J. Watt.
who is back full bore this year? J.J. Watt is NFL MVP type
And
numbers
his
this
partner in crime, Jadeveon Clowney.
year. Is always good, yeah, as long as he can stay healthy. But the Texans are going to be scary. We had the Eagles at the Jaguars in good old London.
The Jaguars are a dumpster fire.
The Eagles are having, had their way with them. The Eagles also picked up a good player,
Golden Tate
Golden Tate. Picked up Golden Tate today from the Detroit Lions.
adds to their wide receiver
Mm-hmm.
depth.
We had the Jets at the Bears. We picked the Bears to win that one. Although we do like the Jets team. The
It's
Jets
a solid
have got
foundation
a good,
for the
solid
future.
foundation for the future. So we do.
But the Bears
But
have
the Bears are just a little bit too much for them.
Khalil Mack is really good.
Khalil Mack was out injured last week, and they thought it was going to be a little closer, but it just couldn't.
But the other defensive guys are on the Bears are good too.
Yeah, we had the Bucks at the Bengals. It was closer than what I thought. We thought the Bengals would handle it pretty easily, and they were handling it pretty easy as long as Jameis Winston was the quarterback.
Yes.
Because he sucks.
4 picks for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he completed almost as much to the other team as he did to his own team. And then they brought in Fitzmagic, which he went out and learned some new magic tricks.
Yes.
Because he came in and zing, zing, zing,
Throwing
tied 34-34.
Throwing
And then
darts.
the Bengals in the last seconds kicked the field goal and broke their hearts.
So, yeah, that was your 2015 first-round pick.
Is now a backup quarterback.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's bad now. We had the Broncos at the Chiefs. We picked
Not
the Chiefs in that
exactly
one.
a blowout.
Not a blowout, but a good 7-point win.
The Chiefs look like to be the front runner for the AFC West from here on out, unless
Yeah.
the Chargers catch up to them.
We had the Redskins at the Giants. I really thought the Giants at home would
Had
had some
something.
heart and would come out
Had
and would beat the
something.
Redskins. No.
Nothing.
No, they got
Just nothing on offense.
The Giants, I mean, their offensive line is
Garbage.
I think they all, when they first went to school, they wanted to be a matador because they just go ole and just let them go get Eli.
Eli only has 1 second to throw. He's like one Mississippi, and then he has to throw.
I don't even think he gets Mississippi out. It's like one Iowa. It's not even the Mississippi. And it's over.
But
So,
the
yeah.
Redskins did pick up somebody from the Packers.
Oh yeah, they picked up
Ha
Clinton Dix. He was at the end of his contract, so the Packers let him go. Then we had the Browns at the Steelers. Again, I think the Browns have a nice young team, but the Steelers, they were not
They
going to
got
lose at home.
experience. They got a lot of great talent. But the Browns did something with the general manager did something.
Oh, what's that?
They fired Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson.
Get out of here, Hugh.
The wicked king is dead. 3 wins. How many losses?
36 losses.
How many losses? So 3 wins
36.
and 12 times as many losses and 1 tie. So 336-1. And he is out. And then we had Todd. They also fired Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator.
Get out of here, Todd.
Out of here too. And Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator,
He's
is
done
now.
a great job.
Hey, the Browns' defense is not bad.
It's actually really good.
How many turnovers do they have?
I'm not for sure the exact
But they
number.
are.
the number one team in the NFL when it comes to forcing turnovers.
So the Browns don't
Great
have a bad-
potential.
Great potential. I think it'll be good. Of course, you don't have any offensive flow now because everything you were doing
Is out the
is
door.
gone now. So, but it'll be interesting to see what the
But it's
Browns
got to
do.
be better than Hugh Jackson, I can tell you that much.
We had the Ravens at the Panthers. The Ravens were favored.
They just got their butts kicked. Just royally
The number
kicked.
one defense in the NFL. How many sacks did they get on Cam Newton? None. His jersey, the only reason his jersey got dirty was because he went around the corner, ran for 15 yards, and slid down.
That was
That's
the only.
It's the only time his jersey got dirty. I don't think they.
Cam Newton was like, got it out of the dishwasher or something.
Yeah,
Get
he
it
did.
out of the dryer.
Yeah, he just took it off and handed it to the guy who cleans them. The guy's like, oh, okay, it's good.
Where was that number one defense, Baltimore?
Oh, the Panthers were actually ready for him. They were.
Yes.
The Panthers looked good, like they're
They looked
getting it together.
really,
they looked like
really
they're
good.
really settling into North Turner's offense now.
And if they can,
North Turner, dude, I told you, North Turner is one of the best offensive minds in the history of the NFL.
my boys.
So
my boys-
watch out for the Panthers because as they get more and more used to North Turner's offense,
They're going to be more and more dangerous.
dangerous. So, and speaking of that division, think about another team in that division, the Saints.
Oh, yeah, my division rival.
The Saints were at the Vikings, and I told you I'm not picking against Drew Brees
I
and
wouldn't
Alvin
either.
Kamara. Even though the Vikings were favored, the Saints beat them by 10.
At Minnesota.
Yeah, I think Alvin Kamara had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. It was like bam, bam, and all of a sudden, what?
Safe to say, I didn't like what Kirk Cousins brought me.
No, shout out to Adam Thielen, though. He got another 100-yard receiving game.
That's
What?
8 straight.
I mean, he looks like the milkman or something. How is he the number one wide receiver? And he's
Adam
shifty
Thielen.
and quick and yeah.
We got to give props to Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen. I mean, they got Diggs on that team, which is unbelievable wide receiver, and Thielen is showing him up, and he's a. I told
Diggs
you,
even has that.
he looks like a history teacher. He's a white guy, He looks like me.
Diggs even has his own commercial on television.
Yeah, which is a really good commercial. That is a good commercial. Okay, we had the Seahawks at the Lions. I really
thought the Lions got it together when they played the Dolphins, but
Yeah, but it just shows you how bad the Dolphins are because
Yeah.
the Seahawks went to Detroit and beat them down pretty easily. Beat them by 14
Russell
points.
Wilson has been playing well as of recently.
And now Golden Tate is
Going to Philly.
going to Philly, which means the Lions they don't have another wide receiver, do they? I'm sure they do. but
Marvin Jones? That's the only wide receiver.
Marvin Jones. That sounds like a singer. Marvin Jones. And then we had what I said was probably the worst game in the past 10 years. We had the Colts. We had the wait a minute. No, there were so many bad games. We had the Colts at the Raiders, which was bad.
Yes.
I told you I'm not picking the Raiders.
Yeah,
I would not pick the Raiders.
He's completely
I'm
broke up
with the Raiders. I will not pick them. And the Colts went to them and beat them 42
to 28.
28. So
What
beat them pretty
happened
easy.
to the defense? That's the one question I want to ask.
What happened to the offense? What happened to special teams?
The Raiders are just terrible on every facet.
They are, yeah. It's a completely. And then we had what I thought was the worst game in the past 10 years: the 1-6 49ers at the 1-6 Cardinals. We said, hey, maybe the 49ers. It turned out to be the Cardinals to win it, but
Yeah, the Cardinals came back from a 15-3 deficit in the fourth quarter.
yeah, which was
Painful for
painful
49er
for 49er
fans.
fans. Yeah, to see that. Then we had the Packers at the Rams. I actually picked the Rams. The Rams won 29-27.
It could have been a different result
I really think that
if it wasn't for that late kickoff.
Ty Montgomery caught the ball in the end zone on the kickoff. Should have just called a fair catch, took that to 25. Decided, I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to run it out. Gets tackled at the 22 and
Fumbles.
fumbled the ball. The Rams
Fumbles the
recovered.
ball.
And Aaron Rodgers never even got to touch the ball in the final 2 minutes.
But if he did get a chance to touch the ball, you
You know
what
he was
going to do.
he was going to win the game. He was going to win the game. And you know what happened to Ty Montgomery, right?
He's gone.
Out of here! He went straight from that fumble straight to the Ravens. You're gone, baby. You're gone. So yeah, and then we had Monday Night Football, which was the Patriots at the Bills, and the Bills haven't scored more than 14 points in how many games?
4.
It's going to be fine. They're not going to score 14 points this weekend either. Speaking of this week, we'll jump into our Week 9 predictions.
But Derek Anderson, man. He got hurt too, so
Yeah, he got
guess who
hurt.
they're going to start next week?
We'll talk about that right here in this one. First of all, Thursday's night game. I thought, that's why I tell him a minute ago, I thought that game that we talked about a minute ago was the worst one of the. No, this game is the worst game ever in the history of football. How do you get worse than 1-6 versus 1-6? 1-6 versus 1-7.
No, it's actually 1-7
No.
versus 1-7.
No, it's 1-6 versus 1-7.
1-6.
Yeah, the Raiders had a bye.
I couldn't.
That's the
tell.
only reason they probably lost in the bye week too. You're probably right. They probably lost the bye week. The bye week beat them by 10. That's horrible. But we got the 1-6 Raiders versus the 1-7 49ers.
I am not picking the Oakland
I will
Raiders.
not pick the Raiders. No. I will. I picked the Raiders the first 2 or 3 weeks because I thought Raiders. No, they suck. And as bad as I mean, think about. I'm picking a 1-7 team to win.
against a. My goodness.
That's how bad the Raiders are. I'm going with the 49ers.
That's just a stinker of a game.
And now you can tell us the Sunday morning we got the Bears at the Bills. Who's going to be the Bills quarterback?
Nathan Peterman.
Nathan Peterman's back in there again. I want to hear odds on how many picks he throws. Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? How many picks is he going to throw?
Well, depending on if Khalil Mack is in there or not.
I haven't looked to see if Khalil. I expect Khalil Mack to be back though.
And if he does come back, it's gonna be horror show.
I just about
for the
guarantee you
Bills.
though that Peterman throws more touchdowns to the Bears than he does to his own team, the Bills. We'll see if that's
Yeah,
true.
that is true.
Yeah, and then we'll move on down. We got the Chiefs at the Browns. The Browns are having just a hard time having a bunch of rough teams on a road to play.
And a bunch of internal problems.
Yeah, they're going to be running a new system this week, so I'm picking the Chiefs.
You pick
probably
the Chiefs to
plus 10.
win. Yeah.
The Chiefs are going to win by 10 or more probably. Although I think the Browns have a great future ahead of them.
Yes.
And then we have speaking of Fitzmagic, his first test as the new starting quarterback for the Bucks.
My boys.
The Panthers. The Bucks have to go to the Panthers. So Fitzmagic's going to have to pull some magic out quick.
Yes.
Because the Panthers are starting to pull it together. The Panthers favored by 7, 6.5 at one. I think
That is the appropriate amount.
I think they'll win it by 7 plus. Yeah. We got the Steelers at the Ravens. This is a juicy game.
Yes, it's been a juicy game for 10 plus years.
Yeah. And the Ravens have a hard time beating this. The Ravens are favored by 3. We're going to take the Steelers.
Yes, let's go Pittsburgh. Let's
Pittsburgh plus 3. I think the Steelers are again starting to gel. They're starting to play good.
And their offense is starting to keep things in wraps.
And the Panthers gave everybody the blueprint to beat the Ravens.
Yes.
Easily. So.
Yes.
And then we have the Texans at the Broncos. Again, the Broncos are favored by 1. We're going to pick the Texans.
Especially
Texans
since
are on a roll right now. Plus that, yeah.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas got traded from the Broncos to the Texans. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a deja vu game.
Are you going to double team DeAndre? No.
Are you going to double team DeAndre and leave Demaryius open? Or are you going to just put 1-on-1 and hope DeAndre Hopkins doesn't beat a...
Or are you going to put 2 safeties back there, maybe a linebacker, and then all of a sudden the Texans can run?
Yeah,
Plus
they've
they
just
have
got
a running
many
quarterback.
weapons. They got so many weapons.
I'm picking the Texans to win this one.
Plus,
actually.
J.J. Watt is going
Yeah.
to bury Case Keenum.
This one's a tougher one to pick. Chargers at the Seahawks. The Chargers have been looking really good, though.
Yes.
I think again we're picking some upsets here. According to the points line, the Seahawks are favored by 1.5. We're going to take the Chargers.
Let's go pick the Chargers.
I want to pick the Chargers.
Phillip Rivers is having one of his best seasons of his career.
You actually said at the beginning of the year it's probably the Chargers' year for Phillip Rivers to bounce back, and he's had a good bounce back year this year.
But Russell Wilson has been playing well.
I'm
gonna pick I'm still gonna pick the Chargers.
still going to pick the Chargers. And then we have one of the 2 best games we've had all year long. Next, we got the Rams at the Saints. That should really be the game of the week.
The
That
game
is
of the week
such
there.
Exciting. 8-0 Rams at New Orleans, in New Orleans, to face Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara.
The Rams are gonna get their first L.
We think they will pick an L.
I'm not picking against Drew Brees, even
I'm not
even
picking
with the
against,
Rams.
Well, not in New Orleans.
Not in New Orleans.
No. I'm not picking. So we are going to take, again, New Orleans. No, New Orleans is actually favored by 1.5. I think it's.
I think we
New Orleans
pick a
pulls that.
field goal game.
Yeah. Then we have a Jets versus the Dolphins. The
Jets, Jets.
Shout out to you, Big Al. We're picking the Jets. I think
Big Al.
I think the Dolphins are on the way down, and the Jets are on the way up. The Jets are having some struggles, but I think this game
Is very winnable.
is very winnable for them. Then we have the Lions at the Vikings. The Lions are
Kind of falling to pieces.
yeah, they gave away their best wide receiver, so we're going to pick the Vikings and that probably 6+ points.
Yes, that's a good amount.
Yeah. Then we have the Falcons at the Redskins. Again, the Falcons lost their offensive coordinators and stuff, and they just have not looked the same since. So
We'll pick the Redskins.
we will pick the Redskins, and
They've got an improved defense with Ha at safety.
And then the Sunday night game, which is another good, exciting game. The Packers
Play.
at the Patriots. Of course, it's at the
course
Patriots.
it's at New England. Of course.
New England plays all their tough games at home.
It's the
Patriot way. New England's actually favored by 6.
Why would you pick by that much against Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers just lost a tough game, and they have to win this game. Do you know what happens to the Packers if they lose this game?
Losing record.
Losing record.
That's shocking.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers +6.
Yeah, Packers +6.
I'm not sure who's going to win the game, to be honest, but I think it's more of a last-second field goal more than it is 6 points. Because Aaron Rodgers will find some way to keep them close, because if they don't win this game, they're in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to go Pack +6.
Yeah, that's a tough game to pick. You got 2 great quarterbacks.
Yeah. And then Monday Night Football. The Tennessee Titans versus me Cowboys.
Yeah, that's going to be... We know plenty of people around the area who are Titan fans.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Titans fans around, and honestly, I'm a Titan fan too. I like the Titans in the AFC, but I'm a Cowboy fan first. And with Cowboys getting Amari Cooper and the Titans struggling a little bit right now.
Yeah,
I'm
both
gonna
of them
go
coming
Cowboys.
off of a bye week.
Yeah, I think Cowboys +7.
I think the Cowboys... I just wonder how the Cowboys are going to use Amari Cooper.
Hopefully better than the other wide receivers they got. But if you've got Amari Cooper, on the edge and then Beasley in the slot now, you can't double cover both of them. Somebody has to be. And
open.
you've already got a good running back. Even the offensive line's been a little struggling with injuries, but you can't crowd the line because of the running back, and you can't double cover Beasley or Cooper. Or both of them. So I think the Cowboys offense is going to take a big breath of fresh air and enjoy having a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver back on the team that's not crying
like Des Bryant.
Was.
Who's still
crying, and he's such a great player that nobody's going to take a chance on him destroying their team. So
all right, that's it.
That is the end of our Week 9 predictions. Be sure to catch up on the next video. We'll be talking a little college football.
Send us a thought down low.
Yeah, make a comment on some of the picks down below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Hit the groovy
baby button over here somewhere.
On my head.
Oh, it's over there somewhere. Other than that, we will see you on the next video.
See ya next week.
See ya.